You know, there are times I wish I could draw, could be a cartoonist. Right now is one of those times. If I could draw, I'd draw one of those anti-immigration rallies you see on the news from time to time. And I'd have the crowd chanting, "Take our country back! Take our country back!" Except that the people doing the chanting would be Apache and Navajo and Algonquin and Seminole. You may have noticed the people at the rallies have a somewhat different vision of the country they're so hot to take back. They generally mean the country the way it looked 5 minutes after they got here. It's a perfectly human reaction, but perfectly wrong, or so it seems to this descendant of immigrants. My grandparents, they came from somewhere else. In their case, Russia, Poland, depending on who was drawing the border that year. They lived in America for decades, and they spoke English only when they had to, which wasn't very often. But my parents, they spoke English right from the get-go. And my parents' kids, we seem to have picked up a few English words along the way, too. That's how it works. This isn't new. Same with the fuss about immigrant head coverings and scarves and such. I think of pictures of New York at the turn of the 20th century. Those folks, my grandparents and the folks who got off the boat with my grandparents, they always had their heads covered for religious reasons. This isn't new, but we forget. My mother, back when she was still alive, my mother was living in a senior community in Florida, and she told me about a conversation she'd heard there. A couple of the ladies were complaining about the clerks in some store talking among themselves and all speaking Spanish. The ladies were very distressed. Why can't it be like the old days, one of the ladies wondered. Back in the old days, back in New York, you could walk into a store and the guy behind the counter would be speaking Yiddish. You know, the way it's supposed to be.